Cancer, happy solar returns. This is your July 2022 soul story. This is Romy. If you're returning to the channel, thank you so much for being here. And if you're new, then welcome. We're going to give you some key astrological dates. There's a lot happening this month and some intuitive messages that I hope are going to guide you and support you in this birthday season. So we're going to open up in Cancer energy with the Hermit, and I think the opportunity for going deeper this month is something that's going to be asked of all of us. There are true tests right now, true spiritual and personal tests. It's not a time to give up though. You're almost there. So you have to stay on track, but you also have to be very aware and discerning of where the distractions are trying to come in. Now she's sitting very high up on this lighthouse here, also acting as a guide for these ships as they move around. So there's something incredibly important about the way that you manage your emotional responses. Your reaction is going to tell you absolutely everything that you need to know through the course of July. We may be opening up with quite a tense square between Mars and Pluto on the 1st of the month. But even now, I just want to call attention to the fact on the 31st, we're going to leave this month with the Sun trining Jupiter. So it makes me feel that where we feel challenged, what's really restricting, causing conflict and chaos as we enter the month, has an opportunity to be directly resolved, faced, and really acknowledged, because we have Chiron shifting retrograde this month on the 19th. We also have an incredibly powerful full moon in Capricorn. It's a supermoon. It's the closest to the Earth this year. Now it is going to be squaring Chiron on the 13th of the month, but it's also going to be sextile to Neptune and the goddess Juno, and trining with Uranus. So the energy here is really one of being able to have those difficult, hard conversations with ourselves, but also with those important connections in our life. Now, you're going to find softness through your strength. You're going to be able to demonstrate that determined, unwavering spirit, and at the same time sit in the energy of flow. So it's going to be a really important time, that sort of mid-month, and I feel like you'll really be able to emerge from that full moon with a sense of feeling more whole and integrated. Your Knight of Pentacles here is, I think, an incredibly welcome energy, because it's talking about the consistency of this month, right? It's talking about knowing what's best for you, not questioning and continuing to forge ahead. And I suppose I just want to talk about the discipline of peace here, especially with the Hermit energy, because where you're creating and cultivating space for yourself this month, the discipline of peace, of certainty, of trust, we have to invite it in. We have to give it a welcome sanctuary. Then we have to nourish it if we want it to help sustain us. So if you're looking for a preview of your future right now, Cancer, look very closely at your present actions. They're going to give you the indication of what is playing out right now. Now we have Pallas Athena shifting into Gemini on the 4th of the month. The goddess Astral brings in the wisdom and the divine power to create strategies for ourselves from a place of really being able to balance our intuition and our logic. And I think there is something for you this month, Cancer, about the plans that you're putting into place. It's the learning, it's taking heed of what you now know. Now, even though there's a lot of earth energy opening up your reading, I also have a sense that there's going to be times for beautiful, spontaneous acts that are going to really help to set you free. But I think what you're coming into a clear understanding of is that you no longer have a tolerance for things that bore you. And this kind of true, deep self-assessment that you're having as you're being tested, as you're being challenged, as you're realizing already how far you've come, is helping in the learning, and that learning is really helping to heal, and that's something that you're going to be able to teach yourself, but also the people around you by way of the way in which you are connecting into those important relationships in your life. It's really bringing through this new level of sort of creative intelligence and how you're expressing yourself energetically. So we can have those powerful emotive responses, But then it's also about, well, what do we do with that? You know, you are entering the greatest season of your life right now, Cancer. So let it be one of ease and opportunity and deservedness so that you find that natural next step for yourself. But what we're saying here is you need to find the vibration within you of being able to access the prayer and the answer at the same time, to expose the resistance within you and also to be able to meet the solution. And that's what the energy of Chiron, as it stations retrograde and squares to that moon in Capricorn, is really going to be inviting you to do. Now, adding to that energy, we have the asteroid goddess Vesta turning retrograde in Pisces on the 7th of the month. What is this about? Remember, she represents what is most sacred to us. Now, retrograde in Pisces, you're going to be questioning the boundaries, particularly in important relationships with the energy of the lovers coming through. This entire month, I feel, as you're making moves from the heart, even though you know that there's a practical requirement for you to put certain things in place and to be able to stay true to the course, to not give up, to stay on track. There's also this beautiful sense of flow and softness that's coming in, where I think you're more easily and readily able to see where someone else is at. Now, that in itself might be quite challenging, because what you may then come to understand is that they're just not ready, or they're not where I need them to be. Now, that may come in both personally and professionally, especially with that Capricorn moon coming through. So this is relationships in work sense, in the personal life. And so the understanding of where someone is at is a test in and of itself, isn't it? Because then it's like, okay, are we going to keep forcing and pushing an outcome? Are we going to, continue to put expectations onto that situation that are not met and then cause a sense of discord within you? So if we're looking at the discipline of peace, of certainty and trust, if we're thinking about this being your greatest season, if we're wanting to understand what the future is going to hold by looking at the actions that we're taking right now, then you have this incredible treasure map right in front of you this month, Cancer. And what it's saying is that you have to make sure that you get everything out of the gift that is given in the now, because you know what? The map, if you look at it, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. The only way you start to understand it is living the experience as each gift you meet and you immerse yourself into and you allow yourself to receive changes you. And as you change, that new sense of perception then reveals where the next step is going to be. And all of a sudden you have an awareness, body, mind and soul. Of course this is right for me. So sometimes, we need to widen the lens and look at the bigger picture. But sometimes, and especially during Cancer season, when we come very close into the self, when we start to connect into our own emotional roots, our sense of safety and security is being highlighted, then there's something about look at what is right in front of you, because this is where the lesson is. This is where the test is. This is where the invitation to go deeper is. So there's important things transforming in your relationships this month. And remember what I said, that full moon in Capricorn is going to give you some really important clarification. It's going to give you the ability to have some really direct, honest and upfront conversations. They might be difficult. They might activate some fear, some anxiety coming through. You may feel that you're not sure what it means or where it's going to go from this place. But here's where the trust and the certainty comes in. Now often with that 9 of Swords, things never truly come to pass. It's our anticipation of what might happen. But at this point, we don't really have a choice other than to keep forging through. And we're all being invited to really sit in the energy of what we are learning about ourselves and really allow that to make some permanent change and adjustments. So we have Venus shifting into Cancer on the 17th of the month into your sign. So again, here from a perspective of the way in which you are addressing some of the romantic connections and relationships in your life. Also how you're handling your money and what you're thinking about your sense of value and worth. This is in your energy, so it's helping to support you to really come to a place where you understand the things that most represent in your life, where you want to go, how you want to get there, what it's going to take. Because I have a sense that you're going to be making some major life edits. I think some of the energy from that Nine of Swords is going to act as a bit of a catalyst. And so in that way, we can also, recognize its value. It's never a nice energy to sort of bump up against or to see emerging. But at the same time, if it really shows us something about ourselves, if it says, okay, this situation, this person, this part of my life is constantly putting me into this like high stress state, then it has to go, or something has to change within me. Because the perpetuation of a storyline can no longer be tolerated. And I really feel that you're going to be making that powerful decision and addressing those parts of your life where this is what I now need. And that's important because, again, that's helping to support you finding the vibration of not only having the prayer or the wish or the intention, but it's actually like making it happen as well, so that you're finding the answer and the solution straight away. So we have the Page of Cups here, and this creative burst of energy is beautiful. Now we're going to welcome the Sun in Leo coming in on the 22nd of the month. We also have Ceres, the goddess asteroid, coming in on the 23rd, shifting into the sign of Leo. There's a sense of feeling a little bit more self-assured. Having more opportunity to spend time doing things that make you feel good. Here's where some of those spontaneous acts are coming in to kind of help you feel more liberated. So I have a sense it's going to be following that full moon and having dealt with something that needed to be addressed, that you then feel this sense of lightness starting to come into your world. Ceres, of course, wants to nurture and bring that sense of abundance and that alignment with the seasons coming through. And here, where we're thinking about the idea of loyalty and what that means, who and what are you devoting yourself to this month, Cancer? Who is within that inner circle for you? How are you protecting your space? How are you looking at those boundaries? Now, with Chiron shifting retrograde in Aries on the 19th, the wound that is being revisited is in our sense of independence. It's in our sense of being able to assert ourselves. We're already seeing how that's being played out in the US at the moment with some of the decisions that have been made. So here we have to go back and tend to that and figure out how we turn the pain into something purposeful, into the gold, into the light. And so that energy of Leo working with that Chiron is really going to support ways of channeling energy into things that are creative. And you have to make time and space for that. Yeah. Now, the asteroid goddesses are super active this month. Remember, I do the goddess reports that are going to help give you information in terms of your own natal chart. You'll find some information of that in the description box underneath. But we also have Juno, the goddess of relationships, shifting retrograde in Pisces on the 25th. What is that about? How we relate to others. What are you going to be asking yourself? What am I sacrificing in this connection? Yeah. Whether it's personal or professional or romantic. Now remember, Juno is also active at that full moon as well. She's coming in supportively there, which is wonderful. But as we get towards the end of the month, if you've made decisions or agreements or you've managed to let something go, there's going to be another layer to address that says, okay, what am I giving up here? And how does that influence what the next step looks like for me in other areas of my life? You're going to be dealing with themes of Pisces, which is definitely about the romance, the creative outlook, your hopes and dreams. And remember, there's going to be some shadow aspect coming through with that retrograde as well. Juno supports us in understanding how to improve our relationships, which means that we have to deal with those things in relation to escapism, to addiction, to a sense of disillusionment. This is why July is one of these absolutely pivotal times of the year, because the invitation to go deeper brings an incredible wake-up call for you. And that's what I'm seeing with the energy of the Tower here, an absolutely incredible wake-up call. There is no going back when you now know what you know. So this is not a time to give in. It's a turning point. Yeah, it's a major seismic shift for you. But again, it's your reaction to it. What will you do when that lands? You could lose yourself, you could come undone. And even in that, it's all okay, because maybe you've had to face something within yourself or a situation or someone else. But remember, what's also coming through for you this month is the ability to find the vibration that says, okay, here's the resistance, here's all the things that were wrong, which are now going to transform and change. And now I have the solution as well, because the energy here of the Knight and the Hierophant are showing you, they're giving you that sense of mentorship, that guidance. This is the way forward. This is the way through. This is your treasure map, remember, but the map doesn't make sense unless we have some of these moments. Yeah. And that wake-up call, that general sense of awakening that's happening right now is uncomfortable. The soul work isn't easy. But it can be something that, when truly embraced, can help you to make the decisions that you've put on the back burner for years. It can address the parts of yourself that have sat in self-neglect. And so as we move towards the end of the month and we have this new moon in Leo, we also have Jupiter shifting retrograde the same day in Aries. We have a time to set new intentions and to really go back over the ways in which we've expanded and changed in this first part of the year. Now, the Ace of Pentacles says there's something new here. There's something new that wants to be seen and recognized by you. But look, I love how it comes in after the Tower, because now we have created space. You see, the Tower has created that kind of, that crevice. It split the earth open. And all of a sudden now we get to see sight of what's been growing beneath it. And it needed space to breathe. So we had to have that Tower moment come in. Now, what does that Ace of Pentacles represent for you? I tell you what, it's bringing in a sense of vitality and new energy. It's bringing in something that's going to make you feel more safe and secure as over time you nourish it and you tend to it. There's almost an element of surprise, I think, in kind of seeing what emerges from some of the chaos, okay? So I think it's going to be quite an interesting turn of events that takes place for you as you think this treasure map is taking you one way, and all of a sudden something gets shown to you, and it may feel like all hope is lost, or I don't know where this is going. Yeah, and that's when you start to scramble for something that looks like a distraction or a quick way out or a shortcut, or I'll gain ground again by doing this or approaching it in that way. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to stay on track. You're supposed to see it through. You're supposed to go deeper. You're supposed to understand the test of this. Then you get to see the bounty. Then you get to see where it's driving you and where it's taking you. So we have this sense of being able to take care of those parts of yourself that have been left behind a little bit. And as you put newfound emphasis on that, it's almost like this beautiful Nine of Pentacles, this incredible like wave that goes from sort of zero to hero really quickly. So what I'm going to say is the recovery could be spectacular for you. Yeah, so we cannot judge the individual experiences and moments in isolation. We have to get to that end of the month to actually see what we've gained and understood from it. And as you have gone deeper and you've allowed yourself to sort of move through that test, what do you gain? A sense of self reliance and confidence, that belief, giving credit to yourself of what has been achieved. Now, all the way through that, you've got the kind of whispering energy of the bird here. There's messages being given to you, I think both spiritually, but also coming in from people who almost have been invited to play that role for you through the month. So it kind of feels like friends or random people or strangers or people that you work with are going to just be saying odd things to you. They won't feel odd. It's just like kind of out of context, but they'll make sense to you, you know. It will be like the little bit of reassurance and motivation that you needed, you know, just when you were feeling like there was that doubt creeping in or that anxiety starting to take hold. Now, what I'm seeing here is that the shift within yourself this month, because this is really what it's about, we can ask, well, what's happening in my relationship? What's going to happen outside of me in my work, in my, in whatever capacity? But really, July is up close and personal. It's a deeply intimate conversation because there's something that has to be addressed for all of us this month. And when we do it with open eyes and a willing heart, and we make those moves from the heart, we make those life edits, that's when we get to go through to the next round, and we then start to see the impact to the things that matter most in our life. So let's take a look and see how the Oracle card just wants to reflect your reading, Cancer. Okay, protectiveness. It's a perfect card, I think, to really represent that part of the Cancerian energy, that expression that you have to really take care of the things that are most valuable to you, yeah? And it's this nurturing that's required, I think. And we know that the eggs are going to hatch, right? We know that. And here's the bird that's kind of reflected again in the Nine of Pentacles. And if we kind of see what's going on, it's almost like the eggs have hatched into all of this blossoming abundance here. Yeah, so we have to take heed and listen. Now, there's kind of quite a cloudy background going on here. And so it feels like it does come up against challenge. It's difficult to create the space or to continue to devote or to give loyalty to someone or to something or parts of yourself when you feel like you're being pushed and pulled in different directions. But you do know what's best for you, and you do know why you've been given the certain insights that you have, that this is meant to be a part of your pathway. This is a time when you're supposed to trust in yourself more than anything else. And if you're still looking for that outside validation, if you're still filling up all of the free space, the white space that you have in your life by asking and seeking that from others, then you are missing part of what the work needs to be this month, because that Hermit is saying that it's deep, soul, integrative, reflective work. And that's really the answer to unlocking everything that you are searching for right now. Yeah, this discipline of how you cultivate the sense of peace, certainty, and trust, how you create that space for it, is the thing that's going to give you the solution that you need. And I think the turnaround, the transformation, the recovery, the boldness that will come if you allow yourself to go on this specific path is going to surprise you in ways that you can't even imagine at the moment, yeah, over the coming weeks. Okay, let's have a look at your astrology card for the month. Okay, so we have the 6th house, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. I love this because it is about that sense of self-devotion, taking care of you, nurturing and being aware of what needs to be balanced out within mind, body, and soul, so that you can then show up to be of service for others. It's also a house that is naturally ruled by Virgo, and the Hermit is also coming in with that Virgo expression. Remember, they are the steward and the custodian of the Earth's natural resources. They're really here to heal and take care, but we're also reminded about the boundaries, about not giving too much, and about being able to find that sense of reciprocity. And so again, just a reminder that Capricorn full moon is going to call out what needs to be dealt with. Now, it's trining with Uranus, so it means there's going to be some powerful supportive aspects for deep transformation. But the square to Chiron is going to make it feel uncomfortable to say the things that need to be said. But you can't not do it, is what I'm feeling. You just cannot not do it. Okay, Cancer, so this is a general reading for the month of July. You will see the card over here, Blossoming Soul Song, is just a little preview from my new deck, Life Soul Vision Oracle. It's coming at the end of the month. I'm definitely going to be having it for the August Soul Stories. You can pre-order the deck now. You can see all the details and see the deck in its entirety over on my website. The link is in the description box. Thank you so much to everybody that's already supported me. I cannot wait to get this out and being used in the collective. Okay, so I'm just going to invite you to think about a question that might not have come up in the main spread right now, Cancer. Okay, so put your focus on your personal question. I'm going to go ahead and pull you a couple of cards on that just now. If you're new to the channel, okay, what we do is we continue this conversation in an extended reading, which will be another 20-25 minutes. You'll get the link for that again underneath the video, and we will cover off your personal question. As well as give deeper insights into this main reading. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and clarify the cards, which is going to give us some of the twists and turns and additional insights that we need for that reading. It's a way to support me in the work that I do, so I can keep showing up with the free readings every month, and also just for you to get additional value for seeing what lays ahead for this month. Okay, so just beginning with the energy of the Hermit, we have the Seven of Wands coming in. And remember, you might often need to revisit these readings throughout July, just to kind of help make sense, just like that treasure map, you know, find the illumination of the wisdom right in the moment that you're in. Okay, we also have the Queen of Swords coming through here. Beautiful white owl there. Okay. Knight of Pentacles brings in the Three of Swords. There's our Chiron energy. I quite like it though, because it means it's being exposed and brought out to be healed. Yeah, there's a sense of deep healing, but also a lot of help and support on the journey with that for you this month. Seven of Cups. Again, all the decks that I use are also listed underneath the video in the comment and description section, Cancer, okay? So we have the Nine of Cups and the Page of Earth. And remember, you can always check out your rising and your moon sign as well to get an even deeper insight across the month ahead and different messages. Queen of Earth. And Five of Wands. You may well have some earth energies that are really significant for you this month. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Right, let's look at this Nine of Swords. Okay, we have Nine of Wands. Wheel of Fortune. I'm just going to pull one more here. Page of Pentacles. The nice thing with all this earth energy coming in is there really does feel to me to be a sense of stability, so that whatever it is that you need to face, whatever it is that you need to handle this month, you're being given the energy, the strength, the set of conditions, if you like, that are going to enable you to do that safely and fully. Okay, another tower coming in here. Temperance, beautiful. Some of that Neptune energy. Remember, we have a lot of the Piscean energy coming up through the asteroid goddess this month. King of Swords and Strength. Ace of Swords, Pegasus coming in there. Eight of Pentacles, and finally Queen of Cups, your card, beautiful. Cancer, thanks so much for taking the time to tune in. I hope this continues to support you through the month. If you're joining me for the extended, I will see you there. You have a beautiful birthday season. I hope you embrace all that it offers you, and you let light really flood into your pathway this month as you go deeper and find a way through. All right, you take care. Bye for now.